Hello all. Today we are going to start with obstetric. In obstetric, we study usually about normal pregnancy, clinical features or signs symptoms of normal pregnancy, normal baby, and related to disorders of pregnancy and other diseases of pregnancy or whatever abnormalities associated with pregnancy. So first of all, what is normal pregnancy? For that I had added some slides. Just go through it. From that you will know what is the exact anatomical changes happening in female body along with physiological changes, because in short pregnancy means there is combination of mature ovum with sperm which takes place in fallopian tube. It gets implanted in uterus, and from where zygote or embryo starts to develop, and in 36 weeks there is complete development of embryo or zygote and a full baby is born after completion of normal duration of pregnancy, that is 36 weeks. So this is just a gross introduction about pregnancy. For detail, you go through all the slides. From this you will come to know what is exactly zygote or embryo is, how it starts to implant in uterus, how it fixes in uterus, what are the normal circumstances which leads for the permanent fixation or permanent implantation of that zygote in uterus. So there are some factors which are actually responsible for normal implantation, for holding up that pregnancy and for continuation of pregnancy up to 36 weeks. So if there are any abnormalities or any changes in female structure or female body, that will lead to abortion. We call it as abortion. That means termination of pregnancy. That means that female body's uterus or other organs, or there are some changes which leads to termination of that pregnancy, and that term is called as abortion. So this is a first term we are going to study in obstetric, that is called as abortion. Okay. So abortion means termination of pregnancy before 20 weeks where baby's weight is less than 500 grams. Okay. 20 weeks means up to 5 months. So it is termination of pregnancy within 20 weeks and baby's weight is less than 500 grams. That term is called as abortion. Now there are some factors which are responsible for abortion, that is causes of abortion are usually age of that female. Age is less than 18, more than 35. Because of age factor, if she is of low age, her uterus or other organs are not developed to continue the pregnancy. If her age is more than 35, there may be some changes, menopausal changes or other changes where exact holding capacity of uterus is not proper, so that leads to abortion. So first of all, first factor is age factor, which is very common for abortion. Second factor is nutrition. If she is malnutrited, anemic, then ultimately that leads to abortion. If she is obese, excessive weight, that also leads to abortion. So second factor is nutrition. Third factor is some habits, like habits of tobacco, smoking, alcohol, all these contribute to abortion. Next factor is some diseases with her pregnancy, like renal diseases, chronic renal diseases, sometimes hypertension, diabetes, all these things need to abortion. Other factors are occupation, heavy workers. If a patient works or patient does a hard work during pregnancy, that may lead to abortion. Some accidents during pregnancy, some surgeries during pregnancy, all these things contribute for abortion. So these are main factors for abortion. Some drugs which may lead to abortion, steroids or excessive painkillers, analgesics, that may cause abortion. These are some causes. These are causes of abortion. Now we will go for types of abortion. There are two types of abortion: spontaneous abortion and induced abortion. Spontaneous abortion means the abortion which takes place spontaneously, and induced abortion is the type of abortion where we induce or artificially it is done, that is called as induced abortion. In spontaneous abortion, there are some types. First of all, spontaneous abortion, it happens spontaneously. There are no factors or no artificial things which are done. So it is spontaneous or natural abortion. Types of spontaneous abortion are threatened abortion, inevitable abortion, incomplete abortion, complete abortion, missed abortion, septic abortion, and habitual abortion. These are the types of spontaneous abortion. Secondly, induced abortion, that is actually induced because of some reasons. If patient is not fit for continuation of pregnancy, we do the abortion. If there are some factors which are not in favor to continuation of their pregnancy, baby may be abnormal, there may be diseases of baby. So in that condition, we advise for abortion. If there is failure of contraception, we advise for abortion. So this is induced abortion, which is performed artificially. And in that also there are two types, legal and illegal. Legal abortion or MTP, D&C, which is performed by the proper practitioner at proper place, recognized place, and that is called as medical termination of pregnancy. And illegal abortion, which is performed illegally, not at recognized place, not by recognized doctor, so that is illegal abortion. Okay. So now we will start in detail for abortion. Spontaneous abortion types, I had told that threatened abortion, inevitable, incomplete, complete, missed, and habitual abortion, septic abortion. These are the types of spontaneous abortion. Causes we already discussed. Age of mother less than 18, more than 35. Nutrition. History of any drugs, medicines, chronic diseases, genetic factors, some accident, injury during pregnancy, surgical procedures during pregnancy, abnormality in baby, psychological factors, sudden shock or any emotional stress during pregnancy. All these things lead to abortion, that is spontaneous abortion. Now going in detail, first type is threatened abortion. Threatened abortion is the type of abortion where there is passage of per vaginal bleeding, but there is no passage of fleshy tissue. There is only PV bleeding, but there is absolute absence of any fleshy tissue. So there are chances of continuation of pregnancy. That is threatened abortion. Clinical features are patient will give history of bleeding, slight pain in abdomen. On examination, there is no tenderness. All examination factors, usually pulse, BP, all the things are normal. So on examination, patient is normal. Investigations we will do are routine investigations. With that, we have to do UPT, that is urine pregnancy test, to confirm whether she is exactly pregnant or not. That is basic test we do for threatened abortion. Also, we advise her for USG, that is ultrasonography. In ultrasonography, we will understand whether there is live fetus in our abdomen, because there is PV bleeding. So there are chances for any harm to that baby. So we confirm whether fetus is normal or not. So we have to do USG. All these investigations we have to do. Treatment part of threatened abortion is actually there is no active treatment is needed, because there is only passage of bleeding. So we advise her for proper rest. If there is pain, we will give her analgesics, and continuation of pregnancy is advised. Just after rest and analgesic, she is better to continue. Bed rest is advised for threatened abortion, because there can be another passage or another episode of bleeding can occur. So strict bed rest is advised for threatened abortion. That is threatened abortion. Okay. Now secondly, we will go for inevitable abortion. Inevitable abortion is the type of abortion where there is PV bleeding, per vaginal bleeding, along with passage of fleshy tissue or fetal tissues. Okay. So in threatened abortion, there is only bleeding, there was no passage of fleshy tissue, but in inevitable abortion, there is PV bleeding with passage of fleshy tissues. Clinical features are patient will complain of PV bleeding with pain in abdomen, cramp-like sensation in abdomen. Sometimes patient may have backache, giddiness, weakness because of bleeding. On examination, usually BP is slightly decreased, pulse rate is decreased. So initial signs of shock can be found out. For abdomen also there is tenderness. Investigation part is we advise routine investigations, UPT for confirmation and USG for condition of fetus. So all these tests are performed, and depending on USG report, we will decide what treatment should be given. Usually for inevitable abortion, as there is passage of fleshy tissues or fetal tissues, pregnancy cannot be continued. So treatment part is immediate admission of patient, hospitalization, analgesics, that is painkillers are given for relieving her pain, and we have to remove that fetus. So we do D and C, that is dilatation and curettage, that is MTP. We advise her for termination of pregnancy by MTP, and pregnancy is terminated for this inevitable abortion. Third type is incomplete abortion. Incomplete abortion means patient have history of PV bleeding repeatedly, and she gives history of PV bleeding along with passage of some tissues. At some time bleeding with tissues, sometime there may be bleeding without tissues, but there are recurrent episodes of this bleeding. So it is incomplete abortion. This is not a complete abortion at one time. So in complete abortion, a patient gives repeated history of bleeding with tissues. In this type, clinical features are patient, as I said, she gives history of bleeding with tissues. Along with this bleeding, patient have pain in abdomen, cramp-like sensation with backache, fatigue, weakness, giddiness, all these symptoms she will give. On examination, we will find that there is anemia because of bleeding, blood loss. As we know, whether there is bleeding, HB percentage will be lowered down, and signs of anemia, that is pallor, clubbing, if there is, all the signs of anemia are seen. On per abdomen, when we palpate her, there is tenderness, and uterine size, per abdomen size is increased. It is because of the bleeding or blood clots in her uterus. So size of abdomen is slightly increased. We do some investigations, routine investigation, all the blood investigations. With that we do USG, ultrasonography, and treatment part is, as there is repeated attacks of this fetal tissue passage, baby is not a live thing, and we have to terminate that by medical termination of pregnancy. So we advise hospitalization with D&C or MTP. Okay. Now next type is complete abortion. This is a complete abortion. That means patient will give history of sudden attack of bleeding with passage of entire fetus at one time or large mass of tissue at one time. But this is a complete thing. Patient will give history of more than 1 or 2 times bleeding with tissue passage. That is complete abortion. Clinical features are the same. Patient will give history of bleeding with passage of fleshy tissue. With this bleeding, there is pain in abdomen, backache, crampy sensation, weakness, giddiness, fatigue, all these things are seen. Signs, if there is heavy blood loss, patient may be in shock, so signs of shock, sometimes signs of anemia may be seen. On examination per abdomen, there is tenderness, and investigations, we do all the routine investigations with ultrasonography. And treatment, as there is complete abortion, there is no passage, there is no live fetus in her abdomen, in her uterus. So we have to terminate that pregnancy with D&C, that is medical termination of pregnancy with usually D&C, dilatation and curettage. We have to terminate that pregnancy. This is about complete abortion. Next type is missed abortion. In missed abortion, the baby or the fetus is actually dead and it remains in uterus for more than 4 weeks without any symptom. Actually that baby is dead thing and it remains in uterus without any signs, symptoms for more than 4 weeks. That is called as missed abortion. Clinical features, actually patient doesn't give any history of bleeding or like that, but patient don't have any symptoms of pregnancy. So on examination, we do her examination, there is perfect BP and all the general things are normal. Per abdomen also there is no abnormality. So for that we do routine investigations, UPT for confirmation whether she is pregnant or not. UPT turns to be positive because there is a fetus. It is dead but there is fetus, so UPT is positive. When we do USG, ultrasonography, we can see that the fetus is dead, there is no growth of fetus. So that is missed abortion. Treatment is very naturally, if the baby is dead, we can't continue that, so we have to do her medical termination of pregnancy. That is missed abortion. Next type is septic abortion. Septic means infection. So in septic abortion, there is infection either to uterus or genital organs of female or infection to fetus or baby. The septic abortion, usually it is of 3 grades. First grade is infection to uterus only. Second grade is infection to surrounding organs like fallopian tubes, ovary. And third is infection involving all the surrounding things like peritoneum and all that things. So there are 3 grades of infection. First is local infection, only uterus. Second is surrounding uterus, that is tubes and ovaries. And third type is peritonitis, gross infection in her abdomen. So because of infection, there is death of fetus or there is gross abnormality in fetus because there is infection, either bacterial infection or viral infection. So that is septic abortion. On examination, clinical features, patient will give history of sometimes offensive or foul smelling discharge per vaginally with bleeding, sometimes passage of tissue, but there is offensive discharge. In any type of abortion, you have not come across offensive PV discharge, but in septic abortion, there is foul smell or offensive discharge because of infection. This is the differentiating factors between all the other abortion and septic abortion. Patient have typical of that smell, that is septic abortion. And another factor, differentiating factor, is patient complaints of fever with chills. High grade fever she will have more than 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and along with that she may have chills. So these are the differentiating things between other abortion and septic abortion. On examination, we will find BP is usually lower down, or signs of shock, her temperature is increased. So usually septic things are found out in general examination. Per abdomen there is tenderness because there is infection in her abdomen. So there is tenderness. When we palpate her abdomen, she will have severe pain. And after that we have to do some investigations. We will do investigations, routine investigations. As I said, for confirmation we do UPT, and for the infection level we have to do her blood culture and urine culture to know the exact type of bacteria, so that we can decide our treatment. So these investigations are to be done, and for same obstetrical investigation USG, and after that treatment part, that is we have to remove the fetus because it is grossly infected. It cannot be continued, this pregnancy cannot be continued as a healthy pregnancy. So we have to terminate that pregnancy. So medical termination of pregnancy with proper antibiotics or proper removal of that septic focus in her body. So that is septic abortion. Now there is a last type, which is habitual. So habitual abortion means abortion which takes place consequently or continuously for more than 3 times. Means patient is pregnant, she will give history of abortion. Again she will pregnant, she will give history of abortion. This happens for more than 3 times. This is called as habitual abortion. That is, continuous history of abortion for more than 3 times is habitual abortion. That female have that habit of abortion. Whenever she is pregnant, she will have abortion. That is called as habitual abortion. Causes of this habitual abortion are usually genetic factors which are responsible. Some infection, TORCH group of infection is very common for habitual abortion. You all have to see about TORCH infection. Find out what is TORCH, T-O-R-C-H. It is a group of viral infection that leads to habitual abortion. Other things are which are important are genetic factors, some chronic diseases, renal diseases, diabetes, hypertension, viral infections like malaria. All these things are common for habitual abortion. And important factor, or which is the reason commonly seen for this habitual abortion, is cervical incompetence. This is the reason, or this is the cause for habitual abortion, cervical incompetence. Now we will go in detail for cervical incompetence. Cervical incompetence is the incompetence or inability of cervix to hold the increased size of uterus or gravid uterus. This is inability of cervix to hold the gravid uterus. As you know, when there is development of pregnancy, weight of baby or fetus starts to increase. This will give pressure on cervix. In some female, the cervix is not able to hold this increased pressure, and the cervix will be opened up and the fetus or the pregnancy will be terminated. So this is cervical incompetence. That is the reason which will lead to habitual abortion. In some female, whenever she will be pregnant, there is increased weight of fetus, that will give pressure on cervix, and cervix will be opened, and because of cervical incompetence, abortion takes place. And this happens in every pregnancy. So this is called as habitual abortion with cervical incompetence. Now clinical features are patient will give history of this type of abortion for more than 1 or 2 times. Patient have PV bleeding with watery discharge, pain in abdomen, along with bleeding, weakness, giddiness, all the associated things are seen. On examination again we will see if there is excessive bleeding, signs of shock, signs of anemia, per abdomen slight tenderness. Per vaginal examination the cervix is open and bleeding is seen. Investigation part, we can see the things, usually normal investigations, routine investigations, USG, important is torch investigation, and depending on that we have to do her treatment for abortion. As for this abortion, we have to terminate by D&C, but to avoid this type of abortion in her future, we have to treat that cervical incompetence. So for treatment of cervical incompetence, we do a surgical procedure that is called as cervical encirclage, that is tightening of cervical lip. We suture the cervical lips. This is called as Shirodkar operation or McDonald's operation. By this we suture the lips of cervix, and cervix is closed by this surgery, so that in her near pregnancy or in her next pregnancy, the cervix will not be opened and the pregnancy can be continued. This sutures has to be removed before delivery of that next pregnancy. So that is called as cervical incompetence and habitual abortion. So we had seen all the types of abortion. In this type of abortion, I had not mentioned PS, that is per speculum examination, and per vaginal examination in other types because it is not indicated. We should not do PS per vaginal examination in any type of abortion, because by doing per vaginal examination we can hurt the situation and we can lead to further bleeding. So usually per speculum examination is only advised for other types of abortion. So in all the types of abortion, per speculum examination is advised, and per speculum examination we can see the bleeding, and if cervix is open or not we can see in that abortion. Usually cervix is closed in all the conditions except inevitable abortion. Okay, in all the abortions cervix is usually closed, but in inevitable abortion cervix is open and there is blood loss or bleeding is seen. So these are the types of abortion. In all the types of abortion, one thing is very common, that is only MTP is advised, medical termination of pregnancy. Whether it is D&C or any other technique, we have to do her termination by anyhow. So in homeopathy we have miraculous remedies that can do wonder in abortion. So again you have this work that find out the different types of remedies for different types of abortion. We have different types of remedies for threatened abortion. We have remedies for habitual abortion which can do wonder without the surgical procedures. We have many remedies for incomplete abortion, complete abortion. So find out the remedies with proper indication with types of abortion.